Welcome, all you fair maidens and scallywags. The name's Ben. Meow. I'm sorry, I just wanted to segue into wishing you a happy International Talk Like a Pirate Day. Yeah, it's a thing. And there, I did it. In this video, I'll share my thoughts on what I think of the most recent weapon tuning patch, and what it'll mean for our time in the rise of Iron. More specifically, I'll focus on the state of shotguns and snipers. Shotguns rule all. I hope that debate's settled. If you still think otherwise, go watch the first ever MLG broadcast of the new game type Supremacy. Fast forward to any portion of the video and count how many shotgun kills and sniper kills you witness in 60 seconds. Yes, it is possible that snipers may come out on top in game types like Trials, in pubs, but if it were not for the risk of losing a ticket to the lighthouse, let's be real, shotguns would dominate that arena too. You put the best 12 players in a game of 6s and set teams up so that one team has snipers while the other has shotties, and unless you're playing First Light, Bastion, or Skyshock, or Skywatch, whatever that one map is, shotties will win literally 99 times out of 100. The new flinch mechanism makes it so that snipers aren't all that scary at long range anymore. You can stagger a sniper with a primary, close the gap, and shotty. Boom, advantage gone. Now, a common argument for this was that a sniper shouldn't be able to blame you at close quarters where shotguns are most dominant. And I agree, kind of. But now, unless you're running in a squad full of shoddy runners, snipers almost always put you at a disadvantage. In 1v1 engagements, you'll just get straight bullied, unless you're running with the last word. Honestly, a fair compromise in my opinion would have been adding a range drop-off to the flinch or deflection mechanism, so that it would be most prominent at close quarters, and its effect would gradually get lower over longer distances where snipers should have the advantage. Maybe incorporate a deflection multiplier to each weapon type, so weapons like scout rifles, which are generally used in long-range engagements, induce more flinch than something like an auto rifle. I don't know. I just know that something has to be done, and whatever does get done should not involve nerfing of any sort. Shotguns cannot get nerfed any more than they already have been. Have you ever used a shotgun in any other first-person shooter besides Destiny? And did you find yourself completely shocked every time you landed a shotgun kill from, I don't know, further than 4 feet? I played Black Ops 3 a while back and felt like I was mapping people. Meanwhile, they were just like 8 feet away. It's ridiculous. Shotguns in Destiny have a shorter range than any other shotgun in the universe. I feel that as far as nerfs go, we, as a community, may have complained so much in year 1 and 2 that the developers just trimmed the effectiveness of weapons too much. There's barely any room for more nerfs. Plus, it's getting exhausting. I believe the answer has to be in buffing primaries, so people don't rely too much on shotties and snipes. This could be done by increasing primary precision damage, increasing the fire rate on some weapons, or maybe just extending their effective range a little bit. I don't really know what would be best, but I do know primaries need to be just that. They need to be your primary choice in most engagements. Have you noticed lately people flock to special ammo crates like it's heavy ammo, and that you're almost as likely to get a multi-kill by baiting a special ammo drop than you are a heavy? Come on. Primaries need to get good again. With the introduction of private matches, I wonder if implementing modifiers, similar to small arms for PvP, would be doable. Doesn't have to be as drastic as it is in PvE, maybe just a 1.1 or 1.2 times bonus damage multiplier. It can serve as a testing ground for developers and would be a breath of fresh air for people tired of running into shoddy-wielding thrall in the Crucible. While we're on the subject, are there any game developers watching this that could explain how difficult it would be to implement PvE modifiers in private games? In my mind, it seems pretty straightforward, you know? You got a PvE folder, you open it, you hit copy, and paste it in your private matches folder, right? I mean, right? Am I right? Tell me I'm right. I'm right? Right. On a serious note though, if you are out there, explain. As for the state of snipers, I noticed that I personally can't hold my ground while getting pelleted by high rate of fire weapons at all anymore. But I do find that if I let off a shot at the same time as my opponent, I can still land headshots despite the ridiculous flinch. Generally, this is only when my opponents have slow firing weapons, and also happen to be a very crispy shade of blue. A periwinkle blue, if you will. Leading up to this patch, I didn't know what else could be done. to snipers. I thought increasing zoom was a good deterrent for those using them in close quarters, but apparently there was room for more adjustment. It's gotten to the point where whenever I get to a sniper section of the patch notes, I'm just bracing myself, because I know it's gonna hurt. And when I make a video about it, I have to be all cool about the whole thing, because you can't convince people of anything while you're being insulting or negative. And I love this game. I've spent more hours on Destiny than I think 6 years of Call of Duty and Halo combined. Plus the sandbox team at Bungie actually interacts with the community, so it's not too crazy to think that they'd listen now. They have nerfed things I wouldn't have, but at the same time, I was always able to adapt because they'd create an equally enjoyable alternative. For example, if they never patched Day 1 auto rifles, I would still be using the Suros today. I would never have tried the Last Word or other hand cannons for that matter. Now, hand cannons take up probably 33% of my vault space. As far as developers go, they're probably the most interactive bunch I've ever heard of, and I'm grateful for that. Having said that though, there's still that fear in my mind as I'm loading up the patch notes, the fear that something I cherish will be snurfed and I'll get hit where it hurts the most. And I'm remembering a funny clip in my brain right now. Oh, I gotta find it. In case I don't, it was a clip from a show called Science Sports, or Sports Science. It's where a guy keeps his heart rate steady while getting kicked in the cojones, as my buddy Gustavo would say. It's stupid, but in the clip, the guy tanks a hit and shakes the hand of the guy that kicked him and goes, "Thank you, that was a good kick." All calm about it. Then the guy that did the kicking goes, "Yo man, I felt that all up in my shins. He had no cup, no nothing. Just straight up nuts." It was so stupid. I don't know how that made it on TV. It was cable. Anyways, when I'm reading sniper patch related notes, I'm that dude with coins for marbles, just pretending it didn't hurt. So far, though honestly, I haven't really taken that dreaded hit yet. Knock on wood. The day they nerf or mess with my precious Aphrodite spear, though, oh, will that be a sad day. Thanks to custom games, I've been letting this baby out, and magically, it wasn't affected by the most recent patch. It still hits for 181 to the body, and 452, what a beautiful number, to the face. So I'm bracing myself every time patch notes go live. And you guys on Twitter need some bedside manner, man. You guys love giving me bad news. Relax. I can see it now, just, hey Ben, Aphrodite spear, it's been tweaked a little. It's a spear now. No, literally, it's a spear. You gotta throw it, it's made of bamboo. Now make video. Jeez, that's just rude. But on a serious note, I would lose my ass so bad. I would go back to Call of Duty, that's how bad. But anywho, what is the most precious thing in your vault that you fear might get snuffed out? Oh, and in real life news, it's back to school season up here in Canada. So I've been a little sidetracked. I did make sure to book Tuesdays off though, so I'll be working on things for your ihos on that day. Until then, thanks for watching. God bless your faces and deuces.
Enemy captured Zone B. Zone C.